Hey you guys, it's Renee from Raw Branded, and we are talking about this topic right here, right? It's about branding and consistency, being consistent in your branding, or for some of us, being consistently messy, okay? And that's okay. Let me just tell you that off the bat. It's okay if you're a little messy. Okay, let me get to that. Um, First things first, I have a little story for you, just so this can really sink to you guys. And by the way, I'm just going to switch uh, my lovely graphics here so that it's not over my head the entire video, as I know that's been the case in the past. I think it'll help you guys if I just switch that out of the way. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is, show you this story. So I was in another group talking to a woman, and a business owner, and she mentioned to me how she went live for the very first time, went live, and her mind went blank. She drew a complete blank, and she forgot what she was talking about, and how she was so embarrassed about it, but could laugh about it. It was really funny. And I just reassured her that, these things happen. Sometimes it's not always perfect. You have it perfect in your mind. You come on live, and it's a big mess. And it's okay, right? As long as you recoup. And the best thing about it is that she finished, right? She delivered her message. And so then I shared my story of going live, and if you're following, then you know that I went live 3 times. 2 out of the 3 times, my audio was completely missing, and I had to redo it again. And the third time was a charm, right? So hopefully you're hearing me right now. That would be kind of crazy, and a little meta. So, what I want you guys to do is to take away this lesson and learn that sometimes, it's better that you deliver your message, that you show up, that you're not hiding your light, and you get your message out there, than opposed to you just saying, I'm not going to do it. I messed up. I'm not clear on things. Sometimes it takes a little while to figure things out, right? And when I'm saying things, I'm saying you showing up, you having a clear message, right? You bringing yourself fully forward, right? Because one of the things that you need to know about branding is it's all about being memorable, right? It's all about making sure that people don't forget about you, right? And so these mistakes or this messiness, it helps you to stay at the top of your mind. You may think, oh, for a bad reason, but no. It's because it's making you more relatable, right? We're getting a better sense of your personality, right? And yes, people will listen to your message because they'll say, okay, what were you saying? Especially if you segue it back to your message, people will pay attention, right? So the thing about showing up, regardless of if you think you're messy or not, is that if you're consistent about it, consistency will breed familiarity, as people say. You always hear that expression. And it's there for a reason. And it works also for branding, right? More often when people see your brand, hear your message, get your essence, your personality, the more they'll be able to relate to you, get familiar with who you are. It's not going to be shocking. They feel more comfortable with you. It speaks to that whole like, know, and trust factor, right? That's very real. And it sets the expectations, right? Who are you? Why should we pay attention? Why should we perk up, right? So, when people hear your message, see you, flaws and all, they'll get a better sense of who you are, why they should pay attention to you, what's so important about your services, right? And so, that being said, I have a couple of to-dos for you. I want you to make sure that in order for you to be consistent, make sure for your posts, especially on platforms like Facebook, anywhere that you're showing up online, one of the things you really want to make sure that you're doing is that people can consistently see you. I'm seeing a lot of folks here in different groups, just anywhere on actually in social media overall, if you go on different platforms. And I'm seeing that a lot of people's profile pictures are missing, right? You can't see who you are. There's no sense from the beginning of what the expectation is. Who am I doing business with? Who's the face of the business? That's missing. And you need to still put yourself out there, right? So do not hide your light, even in that way with your visuals, who you are as a business owner. Let people know that, because that's what's going to help people to connect with you. And then the other thing is consistency in your message, right? In your story, even. I mean, before I even get to some of the message, the story. This is often missing. And I'm so surprised and blown away when you start picking away and you ask people about the story behind their business. Even today, I asked a couple of folks in a Facebook group, why did you start your business? And the stories that were shared just blew me away. It always blows me away when I hear people's backstories and how it's so perfectly aligned with their business. And then my next question is, have you been sharing that? Because now I remember you. Now out of this sea of thousands of people in the groups that I'm in, I'll always remember you because you told me this story and I know your business and I see your face. Now you're in the back of my mind. Whether or not I want to do business with you, I'm not going to forget you now because you shared this story that makes perfect sense. I see you, the story, the business, it all connects, right? So that's why it's so important to consistently get your story out there. And then with that, also tying in your message. Where are those messages, those things that are going to jog my memory and remember you, right? There's so many people online, right? Especially as you're just learning other folks in communities, on different platforms. It's easy just to forget about people unless you remember their photo. Remember that thing? Or you remember their video, even better. Or you remember their message, their story, those things that are going to jog your memory. Those things that you need to bring forward consistently, right? It's so important. And then, of course, that speaks into, it ties into your visual branding, right? I mean, on a platform like YouTube, for instance, that one is essential. You need to have your thumbnails for your videos always have to be branded and stand out and speak to your personality and your brand, or else you're not going to get any clicks, right? It's always important. It ties in. It's the same message. Visually, message-wise, it all has to be definitely cohesive, but then consistently showing up, reminding people about you and your business and why we should pay attention. These are the things that will help you to stand out. And it doesn't have to be perfect, right? It doesn't have to be perfectly perfect. It can be messy. Hey, a little messiness will make people remember you, right? So it doesn't have to be super perfect. It just has to be done, right? So, if you have questions about this, maintaining consistency in your branding, anything like that, do leave questions below. Let me just check if there's any questions. Hi, Jane. Thank you for watching. If you have questions, leave them below, and I will come back. I will answer these questions, okay? All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.